working with Brenna these past couple weeks. We got through a lot of stuff. And what really helped her a lot was we went through this little workbook to help her kind of process her feelings and the trauma that she went through. So today we're going to kind of go through it with you guys just so you can get, you know, an understanding of what Brenna has been going through. So I'm going to kind of leave it to Brenna this wherever you want to start. To kind of, if you want to look through the book first and see which pages you feel comfortable talking about.
Okay. So we started with talking about therapy and that it was a safe place and that basically that she wasn't going to share anything that I wasn't comfortable with you guys knowing about. So I said that I felt like sometimes that I was alone and that I felt bad that like you guys should have this like perfect family and that like you guys gave me a great life and then like this thing happened that made me different than you guys. And like I didn't want the two little kids to like have to deal with my issues. Like I wanted them to be able to be raised in the same way that I was raised and not have to like think about everything that I've been through. And then I felt like all my friends were really happy and like dealing with these normal kid stuff and I was just again just like kind of ostracized because I was just very different from them and they didn't have to go through everything that I had been through. And we just talked about things that I was good at. So I felt like soccer, I was a good student, I was good at sports. I felt like I was a good friend, a good sister, and I was good at spikeball. And I like to play soccer, kayak, and go swimming. And we talked about our family. So I had your dad, and mom, and me, and then the twins. And things that I like to do with you guys. I like when we golf together. I like when we go to the Pats and the Red Sox games. We like our Friday movie days. I like to go boating and jet skiing.
Oh, good.
For the family. Oh, good student. Remember that?
Yeah.
How do we keep going?
You can, whatever you feel comfortable kind of explaining. If you want to like stop and if your parents want to ask any questions, they can, but if you guys want to continue to like hear what she has to say, then you can keep going.
I just want to say, Brenna, I am so happy that you're feeling better, and you know, I'm really hoping that we learned today how to help you get back on the soccer team and doing those other things that you really like to do.
Thank you. So then we talked about what it feels like to go through something traumatic, and how sometimes like bad dreams are common and feeling jumpy and nervous. So basically I circled the things that I feel. So sometimes I have scary memories or just like the day kind of pops back into my mind randomly for no reason, kind of like flashbacks. And sometimes I have bad dreams about it and I wake up in the middle of the night just thinking about it. So that's better than it used to be, so that's good.
Why would you never tell us this?
I just don't want you guys to have to deal with it at night. Like, I don't know, it was kind of embarrassing because I felt like I couldn't control my own mind. So I didn't want you guys to have to worry about it. And I knew for a while that like everything I was going through was affecting you guys, and I didn't want the boys to have to not have their parents because they were so worried about me. before, when I used to get flashbacks really bad, sometimes it would make my stomach hurt so bad that I'd throw up. But that doesn't really happen anymore. I used to cry for no reason at night. I used to get really bad butterflies, and I used to get angry at you guys, probably for what seemed like for no reason. Or like, I just remember being really short when you guys would say something to me, and a lot of times it had nothing to do with you guys. It was just because I was angry about where my life was and how I felt like for a while my life was going on like this good path, and I had a great family, and I was playing soccer, and I was, you know, I was gonna go to college, and I had all these dreams and stuff, and then this thing happened and it took it all away, and it just didn't seem fair. Like, I felt like I was doing everything right, and I was making good choices, and I was a good student, and why did it happen to me, kind of thing. So I was a little bit angry about that. Then we talked about some strategies when I'm feeling this way, positive ways to deal with it. And I felt like talking to her was positive and was helpful.
Why do you feel like you can never talk to us?
I didn't feel like I couldn't talk to you. I just didn't want my burdens to be your burdens.
I just don't.
Do we want to take a break and talk a little bit about it, or?
Well, I just feel like we somehow let you down, and we didn't do what we needed to do, and then you came here, and it was like you fixed everything.
Well, there's still some things that we're kind of working on too, and that's why I felt like it was good to bring you guys into the mix, so you guys have an understanding of what she's going through, and that way, you know, out of therapy, when she's home with you guys, you're all able to kind of be on the same page and work through things together.
It's just kind of an awkward thing to talk to your parents about. And, like, you guys are busy, like, you have your lives, and...
But you're part of our life.
I know, but... It's like, why should my... Like, I know how bad it hurts to go through it, and as a parent, to watch their kid go through it, I know it's hard, so if I can just deal with it with someone else and not have it affect you guys, it just feels like... It's better that way. I don't want you guys to always think of me as this, like, hurt person. And I don't know, I want the boys to be able to have the same life that I had, and I think that if you're dealing with me and everything that I went through, like, you're not gonna be able to be the same parent to them.
I guess as the child, you don't really, I don't think it's your decision to make.
I mean, it's my life.
I know, I guess it just makes me feel hurt that you didn't look to us for support.
I mean, I did, I just think it was in different ways. I just didn't wanna talk to you about it, but like, I mean, we still hang out, we still do stuff, it's just like, I didn't feel like you needed to be a part of this part of my life.
Okay.
You guys want to keep going, or do you guys want to kind of talk a little bit more about how we can accommodate to each other, or?
No, I mean, it sounds as though she's made a lot of progress with you. I guess part of me wishes that she had come to us and shared more of this with us before. I mean, I guess in the end, I'm glad that it seems to be working, or whatever you guys are doing is helping, and I appreciate that. It just feels like we were left out of the loop a little bit. But
So what do you think, Brenna? Do you want to keep going, or do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Well, this is where we kind of worked on some kind of like deep breathing exercises, because sometimes when she would get overly stressed or like having a hard time calming down, this was an exercise that we kind of worked on together, where she would just practice the deep breathing so she can calm down, and I think we did talk about possibly involving you guys in kind of teaching you guys this, so at any time if she's having a hard time coming down, this is something that you can read to her to help her get back to that, get back to her state of mind. Did you want to teach them how we did this? Yeah. Okay. So I'll read this to you guys. You can either just like listen. You don't really have to fully participate, but if you just kind of want to listen, you can kind of go through it, and then this whole journal, this workbook is going to be going home with you guys after today. So anytime that even any of you guys are having a hard time calming down, you can read it to each other. You can either lie down or sit comfortably somewhere quiet and cozy. Breathe in slowly and out even more slowly. Close your eyes and imagine you are floating on a soft, fluffy cloud. You feel very safe on your cloud as it cradles your body like a hammock. Your whole body feels very relaxed and heavy. Notice your feet. Your feet feel very relaxed. Your feet feel so heavy that it would be hard to lift them if you tried. Now notice your legs. Your legs feel very relaxed. Your legs feel so comfortable, all nestled into your cloud. That nice, warm, relaxed feeling is slowly traveling up your body, filling it with peace. Notice your stomach. It feels very calm and filled with a pleasant warmth. Now be aware of your chest. Your chest feels relaxed as it moves up and down slowly with each breath. Notice your neck and shoulders. They feel so tranquil and heavy. Feel the backs of your shoulders touching the cloud below you, sinking in gently. Feel how relaxed your head is right now. It feels very warm, pleasant, and heavy. Your head and face are very relaxed. Your mouth and eyes are free of stress. Allow your thoughts to come and go without worrying about anything. Everything is okay, and you are feeling very calm and good. Enjoy the warm, calming sensation as it travels all around your body, filling you with peace and relaxation. Now when you're ready, you can slowly start moving your body around, open your eyes. So that's kind of one of the things that we practiced together, and it really helped her kind of calm down and get back to normal breathing pace, and it was something that I had her practice one of the weeks. So it helps her to basically get from that 10 of being all anxious to a 1 or a 2. So sometimes when she gets upset, she forgets, we forget to breathe in general, it's hard, or that we're taking short, shallow breaths, and we don't give our bodies the oxygen that we need. So we even practice even just deep breaths. So if she doesn't have access to this right at the moment, if she's by herself or not really around anyone and she doesn't have anyone to read it to her, I did tell her to kind of record it, to kind of play it to herself, or she could do the deep breathing exercises, where she's counting to 5 in her head as she's breathing in, and then as she's letting the air out, she counts to 6 even slower. So kind of keep doing that in and out, breathing in and out until she's back to breathing regularly. So we did a couple of fun games with the deep breathing, but that's something that when Brenda's ready, she can kind of do that with you guys at home too. And then do you want to talk about your safe place?
We talked about a safe place where I feel safe, calm, and happy. And I feel like our cabin in the woods was kind of my safe place for a while, and I felt like, you say you're not a part of the healing process, but I feel like when we would go there, that was really healing for me, especially when you guys would take the boys somewhere else and I could just kind of sit by the water, just because it was really secluded. We talked a lot about the senses and paying attention to the senses that are around. So hearing the silence and the airplanes, the wind in the trees, was really therapeutic. Feeling the sunshine and the warmth, smelling the fresh air, and tasting the crisp apples from the apple tree. So I know, like you said, you feel like they're not a part of the healing process, but I feel like that was a huge thing for me. Maybe you guys didn't even, I don't know if you did it on purpose or not, but that just going there on weekends, especially like right after everything happened, was really, really important for me.
No, I think the cabin is a great place for our whole family. And I'm glad it's really helped you.
So this was another exercise that we kind of went through together. We started kind of digging into feelings and what they mean to her. So at first we kind of talked about, she came up with feelings that she's experienced, and we labeled them with colors. So we kind of started talking about each one a little bit, and then we talked about the feelings in her body that she has felt. And we kind of talked about where it was that she felt this feeling and why she felt it. So, I mean, if you're comfortable, you can kind of talk about how you felt, but you don't have to.
Yeah. So I chose joy because there are times when I still am happy, and there, it's not all bad. So it's in my heart, and there's pain all over my body when I remember, or when I have a flashback, because it's just like your whole body freezes and it's a little crippling at times. The sorrow I feel in my stomach, because I get really nauseous, and the same with the guilt. I have a lot of guilt surrounding everything that happened, and when I feel that, it's always in my stomach. The anger isn't as prominent now as it used to be, but I used to feel it in my hands and my neck and my shoulder, because I used to get really tense when I was angry. The shame, I felt like, started in my mind, and same with the loneliness. The jealousy of other kids, and even the jealousy of my life before, and how I used to just kind of take being healthy for granted. Same with happiness and joy, I guess, is in my heart. There's still a lot of things that I enjoy doing, and fear I feel over my body.
How old is she?
It depends on her pace and how she is processing everything, but in the three sessions that we've met together, she's really made huge strides and great progress. After this, we're going to continue working on those triggers and trying to redirect those triggers so she's not feeling these feelings anymore. We want to try to make sure that all those feelings aren't there, and that she's able to kind of redirect those feelings into an opposite. So it really honestly depends on her pace and what her comfort level is. But like I said, she's been making great strides and progress so far, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to have this session with you guys today, so you guys kind of know where she's at, and towards the end of our session, we're going to kind of talk about how you can kind of continue to help her, redirect those triggers and kind of work together and be on the same page. Do you guys have any specific questions that either one of us could help you answer or understand? If you can't think of any right now, it's okay.
I just don't understand why, these are all except for joy, it's all negative stuff. I feel like you guys are focusing all on the negative. You're not focusing on the positive things in your life and the things that make you happy.
Well, we eventually get to that point. Right now, we're kind of trying to focus on the feelings that are affecting her in a negative way, so then that way, once we figure out what those feelings are, we're gonna work on trying to look at her the positive things in her life to kind of redirect and cancel those negative emotions that she's feeling. So we eventually do get to that point. It's just right in the beginning, I kind of wanted to see like where she was at with her feelings. So then we talked about, we kept going with the feelings and kind of going through what she kind of sees, like facial expression wise, like what each one is. We didn't get to play the game because feeling charades, felt it was kind of silly at the moment, but you know, it's something that she can do with you guys.
You can do it right now.
You could if you wanted. You don't want to?
You guys can play. Enjoy.
I mean, we could, up to you guys. We have some time.
It would be beneficial.
I mean,
What do I know?
Alright, well, since you know we're kind of here for Brenna, we should kind of focus on how she kind of wants to lead the session today.
I'll watch them.
Well, it wouldn't be helpful to you.
Yeah, I can watch them. I can look at their
What would you
facial
get out of
expressions.
that?
I can watch their facial expressions.
What is mine saying right now?
I don't know. That's why we need to play.
Alright, well, maybe we can come back to this
Alright.
towards the end if we are feeling, because we would like you to participate in
I
it.
will. I'll be an active watcher.
Alright, well, maybe we'll try this towards the end and see if we have time to go back to it. So another thing that we kind of talked about was like how strong or intense her feelings were. So this is kind of like a little scale so that we kind of know where she's at with each feeling. So it's kind of, so I told her to, you know, kind of keep this with her to kind of recognize where she's at and what kind of skills that she needs to use to kind of redirect it and kind of lead more in a positive way. And then with, you know, these upset feelings, we started talking about how she can be in charge of those feelings and how she can redirect them. So this is kind of where we started talking about more of the positive things that she does that helps her to feel better and not so negative. So do you want to talk about that?
So I wrote that in this, like I've always liked to draw, but I feel like, especially after this, realizing that it's easier for me to draw things and then explain them than to just try to explain them or write them down. And I feel less uncomfortable about it, and it helped me open up. So drawing. And then I also felt like when we were at the cabin running, was helpful. Also sometimes just watching TV, like mindless TV. Listening to music, jet skiing, when we're at the cabin, and using deep breathing techniques.
And then so along with, you know, things that she does to help her feel better, we kind of created a little feeling survival kit. So basically, what we wanted to do with this was for her to make a list of things that she can say to herself to help her feel better. So kind of things that she can go right to, you know, if she's having a hard time, like if she has negative thoughts in her head, she can go to this, look at the words and kind of keep saying it to herself over and over, to kind of redirect those negative thoughts. So, I mean, you don't have to share what you say, but you can if you want.
Yeah. I said you deserve to be happy, you have the power to heal, do it for your family, keep pushing forward, there's a light at the end of it, it's all in your head, you're fine, you're smart, you aren't alone.
Any questions before we continue, or did you want to look at it?
Can I look at it?
You thought about all of these yourself on your own?
You did? She did. I let her, every time, we did an exercise like this where she was like drawing or writing, I let her do it on her own. I let her do it for a couple of minutes, and then if she wanted to, she went over it with me, and if not, we just moved on to the next exercise. But for the most part, she's been she's engaged very well and pretty open about what she drew, so. I think what really helped her a lot with kind of opening up was drawing it all out first and writing about it. Kind of helps her process her thoughts.
What's that?
I was just looking at that too.
It's
My
what?
iPhone, my iPad.
What is it like? Tell me more about this right here. Do it for your family. Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, I just feel like you guys gave me a good life, and that if I'm in this place forever, that, like, you guys don't deserve to have a kid that's so messed up forever. I don't want you guys to worry about me forever, and I don't want the boys to not have a good relationship with me. So I feel like if I don't get healthy, then our family won't ever be the same. And I want to be the same family that we used to be.
Now we can kind of pause for a minute if you guys kind of want to, how are you guys feeling right now, each of you? Are you guys feeling okay? Are you feeling confused?
I just feel bad. I feel like when I read Do It For Your Family, I feel like you're doing it because you feel like it will help all of us, not help yourself. And that makes me feel kind of bad because I feel like I want you to be happy, and I want you to do it for you, not because someone else wants you to do it. I mean, I don't know if that's what you meant when you wrote that, but that's how I feel when I read it. Yeah, sometimes I just think it's hard to do things for yourself, but I feel like when you're doing it for other people, there's like more. I don't know. It feels selfish to do it for myself sometimes.
But in this kind of situation that you're in, I feel like, yes, it's a great thing that you want to do all these things for your family, but I think, working on yourself right now and doing things for yourself right now isn't as selfish. Do you guys agree? I don't think anyone of us here think that, if you said that you wanted to do it for yourself, we wouldn't think it would be selfish.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't think it's selfish. I think it's strong.
Do you agree?
If I'm doing it, what does it matter what I'm doing it for?
Well, it matters, I think, in the long run, in how you see yourself and what you value.
These are things that we're going to continue, digging into, and as we continue sessions after this, we're going to keep, looking into, which towards the end we do look into her goals and what she wants, for her future. So now we kind of started working on stopping that thought, those negative thoughts that she has, and, you know, we kind of related it to, like, having like a bad song that replays in her head over and over again, so the bad song related to the trauma that she faced, and then replacing that with a happy song. So she kind of did this exercise that was a little alarming. So whenever I would tell her to start singing this bit, the bad song in her head, and then I would go, stop, and then tell her to start singing the new song in her head, the happy song in her head, to kind of help, you know, redirect that behavior.
Change gears.
Yeah, change
Did that
gears
help?
quickly. At first, it was kind of, it was a little tough, I think, at first, but I think later on, when we kind of went back to it and kind of started talking about it more, I think it kind of made more sense for her, but I think it was, the exercise was a little challenging to go through, but I think towards the end, it was more meaningful. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it helps outside to, like, just realize how often I was saying those other things in my head. Like, I'm not saying that I'm always changing it, but now I notice when I say it, maybe.
Yeah. Which is, you know, the kind of the tricky part that we're, you know, still working on, and at this point, this is when we were starting to dig deeper into the trauma. So I think that's when, you know, it started to become a little more challenging, but once, you know, we started digging into what our thoughts, what our feelings, what our actions, it kind of helped her to kind of separate and decipher between, like, what was each and how to kind of, like, control them. So we did, like, another game where, you know, she put an X on what was an action, what was a feeling, and then what was a thought. To kind of help her start gearing, like, more control over it and taking action on those thoughts and feelings to kind of stop them, the negative ones at least.
So what's blue?
Blue is the thoughts, green is the feelings, and then red is the actions.
Did this help you?
I mean, I feel like it was a little self-explanatory.
So it was just kind of like a simple exercise to kind of start processing. Because then we went right from that to kind of like a little triangle of, like, the thoughts, how our thoughts initiate our feelings, and how our feelings kind of lead to the behaviors and our actions of what we do, based on our thoughts and feelings. So we didn't really get to go through this part in depth, but if you wanted to kind of discuss it a little bit now.
Yeah, my thought started with I'm alone. The feeling that thought produced was scared and sad. And then that's when I sit in my room alone and start hanging out with my friends after school. Another thought is my family's too good for me. Sadness and shame. And then that's when I yell at you guys and then go sit in my room. And then a positive thought was I want to go to BC, and that's a feeling of happiness and hope. And that's when I do my homework and then I start the year.
So do you see now that, like, when you think I'm alone and then you just go to your room, well, then you are alone. You're just making that thought happen.
Yeah, I get it now.
Do you really get it? 'Cause, like, yesterday you got home and you went right to the bed.
Yeah, I get it. It doesn't mean I'm thinking it doesn't change.
You know, I know that it's kind of hard to, like, take all this in, you know, kind of in one sitting. There's a lot of information and a lot of stuff that we went through, and we dug deep kind of a lot sooner than we thought we were going to. But, you know, it's gonna be a little bit of a process, and it's gonna be a lot of change.
understand the
and-
process. I mean, you wrote it down, you said it, you repeated it, you know what to do, so why aren't you just doing it?
I mean, how many times do you say, I'm fat and you eat a burrito? You don't change it right away.
Step by step kind of thing, and I know it's kind of hard to kind of think about, but, you know, with the things that she went through, it's gonna take a little bit to kind of process, and, you know, it's great that she's already recognizing these thoughts and these feelings that she has, but now, you know, and now that she's kind of thinking more positively, it's gonna start to change her actions. But, you know, it might not be at the pace that we want it to be, but as long as we know that she's starting to work towards it and start,
I like that.
like, thinking more positively in that way, as long as it's at her comfort and at her pace, I think that's what really matters in the end. And I think what she really needs right now is for you guys to continue to support her in that way, and towards the end of our session, we'll kind of talk about what things she would like for you guys to kind of help her with, and
I don't know, I need to wrap this up soon. I feel like this is getting hard for me to hear, because to me, when I read that, if you know what you should do, then why not just do it? I just guess I don't understand the delay of, I need to think about what I'm doing. You already wrote it down, you already know what to do.
well,
So
and
maybe,
yeah, and you know,
maybe I need some time to absorb it.
that's fine, we can take time, and, you know, if you guys kind of wanna meet, you know, one-on-one with me, we can kind of talk about it a little bit more in depth. We can kind of go through that together, and if Brenda's comfortable with that, we can do that. Yeah. So overall, how you guys, I know that you're kind of still trying to take in, this was a lot of information that we went through, it was a lot. You know, we kind of went through the same thing at first when we were doing our one-on-one sessions, so I know it can be a difficult topic to talk about, but I mean, you know, we're getting closer to the end. Brenda, do you have anything to say that you want them to kind of help them kind of understand a little bit more what you're going through, or what you kind of want them to do to help you with the process?
I feel like sometimes their expectations are, I'm gonna get better right away, and I wanna show them that, so then I fake it, because I wanna be better, and I wanna be better for them, and then these people just sit in my room, because I can't, I'm not better. So it's like, I feel like we're always in this push and pull of like, take your time, and then I feel like, okay, I'm gonna take my time, and then it's like, but it's right here, just do it. So it's like this constant push and pull between us where like, I wanna get better for them, but then they want me to take my time, but then they want me to rush forward, and it's like, I don't know what to do. I just like don't know how to win with them sometimes.
What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think sometimes we don't know what we're doing. Like, I feel like we want her to get better on her own terms, and whatever better is for her, but at the same time, we're like, okay, it's been a while, and you know what to do, so just do it. Like, it's kind of aggravating. But, you know, as long as she's moving in the right direction, we're happy.
Well, she is. She definitely is. She's, like I said in the beginning, you know, she's making big strides, and I think once they continue to keep meeting with each other at least once a week, I think, you know, it will help her to kind of continue processing these thoughts and these feelings and changing the actions. Because right now, like, you know, we basically focused on what thoughts she's having and what feelings are related to it, and we're beginning to go into like how she can redirect it and start changing them to more positive. So overall, I think she's really doing a great job, and you know, from here on out, and you know, if you guys want to come back again, we can check in a couple weeks with all together again and see how everything's been going at home, and do that. And like I said too, if you wanted to meet one-on-one, we can talk more about it, if that would help you kind of understand the process. Okay. Does that feel okay with you?
Yes.
So what we can do now is, you know, we can plan ahead for the next time that I'll three of us, all four of us meet again. And then, like you said, if you wanted, we can meet individually too.
Okay.
All right, so
Thank you
how
very
is
much.
everyone feeling?
Good.
Good. All right. All right, so we'll be playing that. Thank you guys.